Okay, so we're going to start solving inequalities. Let's start off by talking about what we just did with solving equations. If you solved an equation and ended up with like x equals 5, one thing we did not do is we did not graph it. So if we pick a number line, always show 0 and then show also the number that you are going to be graphing. If x equals 5, x can't be anything other than 5. So you put a solid circle on the 5. If you solved it and got x equals -2, and I asked you to graph it, you put your 0, put your -2, x has to be -2, so again it's going to be a closed circle. Inequalities, you have seen these before with the less than, or equal to, greater than, or equal to, and then one that you may not have seen very often is that, which is not equal. So if we bring back what we know of the equals, equals has to include that number. So anytime you see an equals, it has to have a closed circle. So these two with the less than or equal to and the greater than or equal to, they are going to be closed circles. Because these do not have an equal to, so in other words, the number would not be included, you would have open circles. So if equal to is closed, then not equal to must also be open. So let's start off with graphing. Let's say x is less than 5. So if x is less than 5, that means it does not include 5. And I'm looking for all the numbers that are less than that. So then we shade the number line. The shading represents all the decimals and fractions less than 5. Okay, so that's why we have to shade it. So we're not just looking for a few numbers, we're looking for all the values that are actually less than 5. How about x is greater than or equal to -3? Again, draw your number line, 0 and a -3. Has the equal to part, so I know it has to include -3, and now it is greater than or equal to. So it's greater, so all the decimals and fractions that are greater than that. Now, every once in a while you'll see it where maybe your variable is not typically on the left side. You have to read this from the variable. And what I encourage students to do is not only read it from the variable, but go ahead and rewrite it. So we want the x on the left, and we want the 4 to be on the right. The thing is make sure that you accommodate for the sign as well. So it is pointing to the 4, the sign still has to be pointing to the 4. So if I read it from the variable, I'm actually reading it going this way. So x would be greater than or equal to 4, which is exactly what this says. So 0, and there's my 4. It has the equal to piece. It has to include 4, and it is greater than. Okay, the most common error is on ones like this.